Hey there, Tappers. We're here with our new series that we're starting, and we're going to call it Boozy Learning, where we enjoy some of our freshly made cider, in this case our banana rye, and we get into one of our cider making books, and more specifically, one of the pieces of literature within it that are really helpful if you're just starting out on your homebrewing journey. There's a lot of them here, you'll notice, and I will tell you that the distilling ones have a deceptively large amount of helpful information for fermentation in general. But in this case, we are going to start with one of my personal favorites, this here hard cider book. It's very useful for all the reasons you would think, but let's get into it. So as I mentioned, this is one of the most useful books, and I feel that for starting out, this is a really good book because it has a lot of recipes in it. And like I said, that's really useful when you're starting out. But on top of that, it actually has a lot of good tips for if you're growing some apples, and really everything in between. So I can't recommend this enough. The nice thing about buying a book versus renting a book or getting a digital version is you can mark it up, put tabs in it, put highlight. There's some highlight in here somewhere. When I was starting out, it really was the difference between having a successful product and everything else in between. So I was able to avoid what a lot of homebrewers see, which is right off the bat you have a lot of really bad batches. You get some surprises, and for the most part, honestly, with the exception of the last batch, we were able to avoid that pretty well. So one of the things in here that's not immediately intuitive to people is that you can't just add the same amount of fruit to the same size cider and get the same fruity flavor. So what I mean by that is you can't take, let's say, like it says here, a pound of peaches and say, oh, well, if I add a pound of of mango, that you'll get the same flavor. No, as a matter of fact, certain fruits actually have a problem where you need to add more to get the same level of flavor. And some are really, really good. And like I said, one of the nicest things about this, and you can see per gallon of cider, so you're seeing that, like, you need to get a good blueberry flavor, you need like a 1-to-1, or you need, in some cases, a 3-to-1, 3 pounds for 1 gallon of cider, which is rather significant. So, as I said, you really, really, really need to be careful. The other thing that this goes into is there is a difference, despite what people will say, between the flavor you get from a juice versus whole fruit versus frozen. Frankly, from what we've seen, frozen is pretty close but not the same, but whole is the way to go. That's been our first lesson.